Right guys, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my Game Week 5 preview for Fantasy Premier League. It's been a while, hasn't it? The international break felt like it would never end, but it finally has come to its conclusion. Maybe a bit harsh there. I do like watching international games, but to be honest, I'm more in it for the Euros and the World Cup. So will be good when they come around, but at the moment it was not fun waiting all this long to get back to Fantasy Premier League. I have been tinkering with my squad. I have actually hit the wildcard button, so you guys will need to stay tuned to see what my team is looking like. If you do enjoy these previews and are glad to see them back, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you are doing for Game Week 5 or what you think about what I'm doing, and also subscribe for more FPL content. I'll be bringing you my Game Week 5 recap as soon as it does come to its conclusion. But just quickly, as it has been so long, let's have a quick recap of how my team did in fact do last week, and it was not very good at all. I should say 2 weeks ago. McCarthy getting a return, and also Salah also picking up some goals against Villa. Wow, it seems like that was ages ago when Villa battered Liverpool 7-2, but that was actually only the last game week. Calvert-Lewin picking up a goal as well, but besides that, no real returns from this team, and a lot of these players are going to be questioned whether they should stay in the squad. A lot of them are actually going to be gone as well. But that was that week. Just a quick look at the results. Chelsea getting a 4-0 win, City drawing with Leeds, West Ham battering Leicester as well. Some interesting results, and let's see how that does affect my thinking going into Game Week 5. Right, so this is my team going into Game Week 5 so far, and just so you guys know, the press conferences for this week have just finished. Pep Guardiola has actually come out and confirmed that Kevin De Bruyne will not be fit to face Arsenal. Lamptey and Chilwell should be fit, even though they have some yellow highlights there. Sterling, I didn't really see a comment on him, but I'm assuming that he is fit to play. However, question marks in my head now. With De Bruyne not playing, do I really want Sterling in my team? I don't know. This team is not 100% set yet, as obviously there is still time till tomorrow, and I'm going to have to search in more who I want to bring in for maybe Sterling if I do get rid of him. Also, Grealish was on my mind. Do I need to get him in the team as well? Let me know if you guys are thinking of doing that. But if we go through everyone one by one, goalkeeper, I have actually gone for, I believe, the highest scoring keeper at the moment, Emi Martinez. Looking at his fixtures, they're actually not too awful, even though there's 2 reds. Leicester away and Arsenal away. Now, Aston Villa could get results in those games. Yes, they could concede goals, but home games against Leeds, Southampton, Brighton, I do think he has a decent record going up. Now, to be honest, him, McCarthy, Ryan, there's not too much difference between them, but I am just going on form, and because I was using my wildcard, I thought may as well bring him in, and it does mean that I can have someone like Jed Steer on the bench in case he doesn't play, although I'm sure that Aston Villa's other goalkeeper, Tom Heaton, will be on the bench soon. But this is just a short-term thing with Steer. But Emiliano Martinez hopefully can be my goalkeeper until the end of the season. I did say that about McCarthy as well. I guess we'll see what happens when the other wildcard does come about. Going into the defence now, I have stuck with Alexander-Arnold for the moment. I do think he will come good. And with him and Robertson, it's kind of like, well, they will each get returns, and Alexander-Arnold is on set pieces and maybe has a bit more of a goal threat. However, I was debating maybe bringing him down 0.5 to Robertson. Before Liverpool's game against Villa, I was actually debating having 2 Liverpool defenders, but I'm not going to do that now, especially with Adrian in goal. If Alisson was in goal, I'd probably still have done it, but with Adrian in goal, I just can't be having 2 Liverpool defenders when their odds is that clean sheets will be a lot more less likely for them. But let me know, guys, if you think I should get rid of Alexander-Arnold for Robertson, and if you guys have done that. I'm still unsure, but it would give me an extra 0.5 in the bank, so could be something I look to do. Tariq Lamptey, he's my budget option in defence. Could have gone with someone like Saiss, who's a bit more expensive, but looking at Brighton's fixtures, I did think that it did look at least fairly decent defensive-wise. You know, Tottenham away, Liverpool at home, but also some home fixtures against Burnley and West Brom, Palace away. I do think that clean sheets are possible, and also Lamptey down that right-hand side of the back 3, or back 5, I should say, just looks so dangerous. He's winning penalties, he's getting assists. just looks awesome, and it's great to see him succeed. Obviously, as me being a Chelsea fan, I love seeing him do well at Brighton. I'm sure he'll get a big move at some point, but it's not about that right now in this video. So he's going to be my budget option. Potter did say that he's trained. He will have to be assessed. There's a possibility that he might not play. However, we do have Tariq Mitchell against Brighton at home as well, who might be able to come on. Not sure if Van Aanholt is going to start this game. Hopefully, there'll be at least one more game for Mitchell to get some points for me if he is called upon. Ben Chilwell, like I said, Lampard saying he is going to be fit for this game against Southampton, so he stays in the team. A little bit worried because Edouard Mendy's not fit, and now we do have Kepa in goal, which usually means we don't keep that many clean sheets. However, I'm banking on hopefully Edouard Mendy being back soon, so even if Chilwell doesn't keep a clean sheet against Southampton or United, hopefully he can get an attacking return, and also he's a bit more nailed on than Reece James and Azpilicueta, so that's my thinking on why I selected him. Glad that he is fit. Going into the midfield now, it looks pretty stacked and could get more stacked as well as I go into it. Mohamed Salah against Everton, just going to keep Salah, I think he's nailed on. Scored 2 against Villa, even though Liverpool did get battered, so just a player that's going to keep scoring, keep ticking over, high ownership, not really too many questions about him. Not going to captain him against Everton though, as Everton have looked good and Liverpool have looked a little bit suspect lately, so he will not be being captained. Podence now against Leeds away. Now I have seen some talk that maybe he might be the one to go out of the team instead of Neto if Traore does move up now with the signing of Semedo. However, I don't think that's the case. I think Podence is probably still a starter for Wolves, but Wolves just haven't looked good. I don't know if this international break is hopefully going to be a kickstart for them, but yeah, only barely beating Fulham, battered by West Ham, just not looking great from a Wolves perspective. I am thinking of actually bringing in Jack Grealish for him. I don't have the money to do it, however, if I do get rid of a Sterling or I do get rid of a Trent for a Robertson, I will have the money, so that is maybe going to be a bit of a last-ditch decision for me. Going into the man that I have captained now, Sterling now, not too sure if I am going to captain him just because Kevin De Bruyne is not fit, and that does lose an aspect of creativity for City. Arsenal haven't necessarily looked too great, but they've looked decent defensively, just not great going forward, so still some questions to be asked about Sterling. He has got the yellow as well, and I haven't seen Guardiola comment on him yet, so I'm hoping that means he's fit, but I'm not sure. Will that seed of doubt make me change him? I'm not too sure. I'll have to have a look into that. Very sketchy going into this week after the international break, guys, as there have been quite a few injuries, but let me know if you guys are keeping Sterling in your team. Heung-min Son, took him out for the game against United as he didn't look like he was going to be fit. Absolutely wrong decision. He was fit, scored 2 goals and got an assist, I believe. He's coming straight back into the team. Luckily, it's a wild card, so I don't seem too stupid having got rid of him and transferring him back. West Ham have looked better though. They have looked good, so not necessarily expecting huge returns from him, but hopefully he can get a goal or 2 against West Ham, who are looking decent. Pulisic, maybe a bit of a risk because you don't 100% know he's going to start against Southampton. Also, his minutes could be limited, but I'm backing him, especially at his price as well, to start against Southampton and hopefully get some returns in that match, or if not, he'll hopefully get some returns in his next few games. His price is just very good compared to other players around his level like Son or like Salah's, like almost 4 million more expensive than him. So Pulisic looking like a great option. Hopefully he does start against Southampton. Front 2. Not much to say about Calvert-Lewin, just being great. Top scorer, I believe, in the league at the moment. Against Liverpool, so they do have a good defence, but Adrian's in goal. I wouldn't be too surprised if Calvert-Lewin at least got a return in that match. Callum Wilson now. A big debate around the 6.5 million forwards. You could have Wilson, you could have Antonio, you could go more Paya, who I think a lot of people have gone for. Wilson, I just went for him mainly because of the fact that I think Newcastle's fixtures don't look too bad, at least in the realm of Wilson getting a goal now. To be fair, not a lot of greens, but I do think United at home. United didn't look good at all against Spurs. Now, they did have 10 men. Maguire apparently may not be fit. Now, maybe that's a good thing. I'm not too sure for United, but I could see Newcastle at least nicking a goal and maybe betting on him getting it. Wolves, like I said, not looked as good. Everton at home could get a goal. Southampton, Chelsea, if Kepa's still in goal, or, Chelsea defence is still shaky. It's not proven. Just because they got a clean sheet against Crystal Palace doesn't mean the defence is fixed. So, Wilson, Could turn to someone like Morpie or Antonio, but he is on penalties. I could see Newcastle winning penalties now. A lot of this does also bet on if St. Maximin is fit, because Newcastle do look like a much better team going forward when St. Maximin is playing. So I didn't check that, but we'll have to have a look and see what his status is going into this week as well. But like I said, guys, this team is not set. It could definitely change with more news coming in about injuries. Going to the bench, I've mentioned everyone. I actually brought in Ferguson because I do think that he will eventually come into fitness and play for Palace. They have just signed Nathaniel Klein though, so maybe some question marks there, but I do think once Ferguson is fit, Roy Hodgson will try and integrate him into the team at right back, so I will be keeping him on the bench. You never really have to use your third substitute anyway, so I think that should be fine. I also now have Ryan Brewster, which is the reason why I actually opted for a 3-5-2 instead of a 4 or a 3-4-3, because Brewster was bought for a big fee for Sheffield United, and Fulham at home, he is apparently definitely going to feature in this match, I have heard. So if he does feature, if he does get a goal, that would be great. And if he does start featuring regularly for Sheffield United, he could be an awesome 4.5 million option, a budget enabler for this team. So hopefully good things happen for him. But yeah, guys, that is my team so far. Probably will change a few things, but let me know what your guys' teams are in the comments below. Let me know what you think of mine. And with that said, let's have a look at the fixtures going into next week. Okay guys, so like I usually do, I will be giving you some fixtures, or 3 fixtures to be more specific, to look at when deciding what players to bring in for this week if you have not already done so, or if you're wildcarding. Chelsea versus Southampton, I think with Pulisic back, or with Werner as well, even though I've got rid of him because, to be honest, he hasn't scored enough goals. He hasn't scored any goals in the league so far, so I thought he did have to come out for someone else. And I mean, you're basically taking out him for Pulisic, who's a little bit more solidified in the Premier League. But I do think if you've still got him, keeping him is not necessarily an awful shout, as I do think he'll start up front. Pulisic, like I said, defence as well, we did look a bit more solid, so I think Chelsea players are a good bet to look at, though. Obviously, game against Man United next week, but I would still enjoy looking at that team if you were thinking of bringing players in. Tottenham versus West Ham as well. I think that Kane and Spurs, even though West Ham have looked good, Kane and Spurs are on just fantastic form at the moment and have looked great against United and Southampton, so I think bringing in Kane or bringing in Son is a decent idea. Some people have gone with both. I'm not sure if I'm convinced of bringing them both just because Spurs are a little bit wishy-washy, but I do think that, I wouldn't blame you for making that decision. And if I'm going to look at another fixture for this week, I'm actually going to be looking at Everton versus Liverpool, because I do think there are goals in this game. Liverpool obviously have a great attack, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did get a goal or two against Everton, but also with Adrian in goal, Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, James Rodriguez, all options that I think could be considered for this match, despite maybe people seeing the disparity between the teams. Everton just look really good, and Liverpool can get goals, so I think attackers from either of those sides really could be a great shout for you guys to get big points this week. I think defensively, Crystal Palace v Brighton is a good game to look at as well. But that is going to be my preview, guys, for Game Week 5. Glad that FPL is now officially back. If you guys are excited, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you guys are thinking of doing in this team, or any advice you'd like to give me as well. Or I could give you guys advice as well if you comment your queries down below. As always, please be sure to subscribe if you do enjoy. I'm also bringing you guys Chelsea FC and FIFA 21 content as well, so I hope you guys are enjoying all of that if you are in fact watching. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.